Wait, there are two wires, a red wire and a black wire and a yellow one. Given your expertise,
Black, white,
sorry, there's three wires. Given your expertise in disarming bombs, I really need your help here. Don't tell me you're not gonna answer my shit. Like, just help me, which wire should I cut for the best odds of not blowing up? MacGyver, look at MacGyver data.
Welcome to Diggnation.
Also potentially hazardous to your health.
All right, moving on. Why do you have flies in your freaking house? I noticed this earlier.
It's Southern California and I have fruit.
You put zombie and you put eerie in the title, and I don't want to do it. Diggnation.com.
Hello everybody and welcome to Diggnation, episode number 10. I'm Alex Albrecht.
Konnichiwa.
Oh.
Yes, and I'm Kevin Rose. Welcome to the latest episode of Diggnation. It is a beautiful day in Los Angeles.
And we are in
our new spot.
Our new digs.
Our new home.
Check out the stuff. We got what's it called?
Plexiglass?
Polycade, which is very exciting. So we can play the games.
New couch.
New couch, although I think this might be a temporary. It's a loaner couch.
Yeah,
Prager sent it to us.
Did he really?
No. And then if Kevin moves his head, look at this.
Old episode.
This is a picture that we blew up from our last live show.
Last
episode of Diggnation.
Look at that.
And I forgot how ornate the couch was that we got.
And how young we were and how much less gray hair I had.
You want less?
You color now.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Dude, look at my hair. Look at my fucking beard.
No, I know your beard.
If I was gonna color my hair, I would color my beard. That's what everybody has to do.
First of all, you do, because you used to have a little gray spot on your eye.
I still do. It's right here.
It's gone away.
It's not gone away. The rest of it's just gone gray, fuckers.
All right.
Anyway, also, we brought over the shovels that we were on the Fallon show before we closed down, and Jimmy gave us golden shovels.
Jimmy, if you're watching, we love you.
Love you,
time.
buddy.
Come hang.
Yeah.
South by Southwest.
Ooh.
Coming up, live show, South by Southwest.
Yeah. So speaking
the
of
8th of March.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that. Did Maggie write me back?
I'd like to say that. Did Maggie? So
I'm pretty sure she says there's 4 tickets left, general admission.
Wow.
And she'd like my waitlist line idea. So this is the whole plan.
Yep.
One, go to diggnation.show, top banner, you can click on it. You know what I've noticed, and this has happened a couple times, there's been a few people that have said, oh shit, I can't make it.
Yeah.
And so I just process their refund and give them the money back, because obviously, why not?
Yeah.
And so every once in a while, a couple of tickets will pop up, and then it'll sell right back out.
Yeah.
So you might be able to get a ticket. Worst case scenario, if you go there and everything's sold out, and you still want to go, and you're like, damn, I'm gonna be in Austin, it's South by.
Yeah.
Just show up, because as people cycle out, we're going to be having more people come in. And I talked to Tim Ferriss. He's going to have a guest on before us. So you're going to actually get to see a Tim Ferriss show.
Bonus show.
With a guest, not me, not the random show thing, but he's going to have his own awesome guest.
Yeah.
Just
by the
before
way,
our show.
Check this out. We're going to tighten in old school Diggnation style.
Bring it in.
We had it out so you could see and look, bam. That's what we're talking about. Also, Mal, if you wouldn't mind turning that away from me, because I just cannot stop looking at my fucking self.
No, I like it.
There's a giant monitor. I just keep looking over here like this. And I'm like, how's everybody doing?
That's true.
Me looking at myself.
Okay.
Thankfully that he just took that distraction.
Well, I do want to see my dad's shoes. Look, I got these new dad shoes.
Oh, dad shoes.
Yeah, what'd you think I said?
Well, when you walked in, you were like,
Well, first of all, you guys said these look like nut sacks on the back of my shoes. Who said that?
They do. That's how shoes work.
Well, I mean, they are.
I can't even see. Then we turned it. So I thought you. Oh my God.
What did you think?
I thought that you had somehow found a store that had made shoes that your dad used to wear.
Aww.
And that you finally had them make a pair for you.
Dad's passed away.
I know, but I was like, that's very sentimental.
My dad,
you're like, these are his dad shoes.
No, my daddy. No, they call them dad shoes because they look like horrible.
You look like a dad.
That's like kind of the point.
It's sort of like baggy jeans. Nobody looks good.
Jeans are back.
I know, but nobody looks good enough.
I know, but I did get some jeans in. So I was in Tokyo. That's why I started the show off and saying
I was going to say konnichiwa.
Yeah. So
how was Tokyo?
Oh, it was so awesome.
We got to do another show there.
We got to do another show.
Because I've been there and Heather have been there. I mean, I was only there the one time we went. And then Heather's been
insane to me.
I know, because I fucking loved it.
First drink since Tokyo.
Hey, welcome back. By the way, did you just land yesterday?
3 days ago. So listen, guys. I got first of all a little New Year's update.
Oh.
All of Japan. All of
Japan was wondering.
All of January, I did really fucking good.
Yeah, me too.
I'm kind of over excessive drinking, except for when we do our shows. Meaning that like.
Wait, you're kind of over that, or is that the new plan?
That's the new plan going
forward.
Oh
yeah, smart.
So the crazy thing is like I would say in all of January, and if I'm being really honest, I lied to do that one time. No, but I would say I probably had 6 drinks in total. In all of January.
I did nothing. I did nothing up until January 30th.
And then how many do you have?
What do you mean, how many? I drank that one day, and then I drank the next day.
So how many did you get in January?
Oh, you're talking about total. It's like that episode of the Detroiters. Have you seen it? It's so great. The guy's at his doctor's office, and he's like, so how much do you think you drink? And he goes, or how often do you drink? And he was like, I don't know, I'm good for 10. And he was like, 10 in a week? And he goes, a week?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he goes, you have 10 beers in a day? And he goes, we're counting beers too? I feel like that guy sometimes.
Yeah. So we won't get into it with you, but this is so you had a couple of good.
I was
sent January off with a bang.
And it's straight into February.
And continuing straight into February.
Yeah. I took some time.
We've been all over the place already so far in this episode. I'm a little jet lagged.
Yeah.
So
all good.
I went on a Japanese denim kick when I was out there.
So I've seen a lot about Japanese denim, but I don't know much.
Okay, so here's the deal. This will be old hat to a lot of people because I know Japanese denim's been a thing for a while. The one thing that I will say that is so awesome about Japan right now is the exchange rate is so freaking good against the dollar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Because I had no clothes because all my clothes burnt in fire. I went there and I went to the store and I got like 3 pairs of jeans like these, like really nice jeans, a couple of shirts, a beanie, and this really nice jacket, and all in was like $800, and this is like for the best of the best. And I was like,
that's not how usually going to buy clothes in Japan are.
No, it was like,
how are these tight, like tough?
So what they do is they base them on like the ounce weight of the denim. And so we'll put this in the actual video so you can watch it right now, but let me just show you this video. So these are a pair of jeans that I have. This is a video.
Those are standing straight up.
They're standing up on their own without me touching them.
What?
Because they're that thick. So they're insanely uncomfortable to wear.
Well, I was going to say, I was like, this is not how I want my jeans
it's horrible.
to feel.
It feels like you jumped in a pool and then got out and you're wearing jeans.
Oh, God.
Like that kind of nasty feeling.
But what, is there an upside to
Yes.
it? They look cool.
No. It has nothing to do with the looks.
Okay.
You wear them for 6 months without washing them. Not
painfully. Not straight.
Painfully.
You can't take them off for 6 months.
You do not wash them.
Okay.
And then they slowly start to break in. And when they break in, they're like the most luxurious, comfortable cotton, like form-fitting jeans you'll have ever had.
So 6 months of utter uncomfortability and no washing.
And then you have like the most badass pair, and they're so thick, like the seams are thick, and they're just like, they get all like, they completely change colors too.
Oh, of course,
so they like break in and they get faded. It's kind of the thing. It's really awesome.
It's almost like because look, that's the end of the day. Like everything, like I bought, these are all pre-faded. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had ones for a while that had like rips already in them. It's like that style is from people wearing the shit out of their jeans and they start disintegrating, and then people are like, that looks cool.
Right.
So it's like you're basically starting. I just don't know if I have the constitution.
No, we should go. When we go to Japan, we'll go to this place I know. We'll get you some jeans, and you'll pay $75 or whatever, and they'll last you forever.
Dude, $75 is cheap for a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, these are.
I bought a couple different pairs. One of them was called Big John, which is like one of the oldest manufacturers out there. Those are the big heavy ones, but anyway, it was a lot of fun. I didn't realize, like, just full honesty.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Full honesty.
After the fire and everything, like just having a break with a couple buddies.
Yeah, I get that.
Nice.
I get that.
Just getting out of the house and just being like, and going, and, we had a couple drinks and had this one thing called Ghost Ice, which I can show you videos.
That looks
where
super
the ice
cool.
kind of disappears a little bit. See it? It's gone.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo ice.
Had fun with the my buddy Tony and Josh and And now we're back. So
That's cool.
It's good to be back. A little jet lagged, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, how long is that trip? Is that still...
Like 12 hours out there and then from LA, and then we had some good winds coming back, so it was like 8.5, 9 hours coming back.
That's what? That's nothing.
We I don't know what the hell was going on, but we saved a bunch of time coming back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was great. But dude, so I got a buddy, by the way, if you have never heard of Craig Mod, type in Craig MOD, find this guy's blog.
Okay.
He is like the Japanese backpacker / like artisan finder. He took me to his coffee shop. They had like, you know, like an $80 cup of coffee, and I would think,
what does that
I know
taste like?
That sounds crazy. It's this like geisha coffee, the special type of coffee that they do.
Oh, geisha coffee.
Well, it's just like a varietal, and I'm telling you, they serve it in a wine glass. And,
I'm already enjoying it.
Exactly.
Coffee in a wine glass?
But I will say, like, I walked in skeptical because I've been to a lot of high-end good coffee places there. And most stuff in Japan is like actually reasonably priced right now, you know, as we said.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I was like, this is the most amazing thing. But anyway, Craig has a whole blog dedicated to these rare finds, and he just does all these backpacking like trips across Japan and find these little tiny cities. And then like
was this the guy that you went to the UK and did that thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Cool.
Anyway, he was there. He took me out. Dude, you can buy a little apartment in Tokyo right now.
Yeah.
A little cute little apartment in a nice little neighborhood.
Yeah.
For about 75 grand.
What?
Yeah, US dollars. Yeah, no, but don't expect it to depreciate. So they don't really appreciate out there because
but I'll appreciate it.
You'll appreciate it, and like if you're staying in nice hotels and you use it, like it's awesome. And then he's like, oh yeah, I bought this like apartment. He got a slightly nicer one, and then he had a contractor come out and do the work, and he was like, yeah, there's like no change orders. Like there's like a Japanese code of like, oh, we promised you a quote, and we promised you by this time.
Yeah.
There's like it would be dishonorable not to.
Yeah. Like you're like, well, this bathroom is going to take a while because the construction guy had to jump out of the window because it took him a day longer. So I don't know when we're going to clean that up. Yeah, he dishonored himself. He's like, this toilet was not how it was supposed to be.
No, like that is so refreshing, right? Because it's like in America, it's like, oh, we said that was $20K. It's actually, well, I'm sure you're going to.
Yeah, he was like knocking on the walls, like, ooh, I didn't know these walls were lamb baked.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, what the fuck does that mean? It's $120K. God damn it. We did. I will say that actually did not. They were very nice, but that we did have our first, because we're getting our kitchen redone. And we did have our first sort of like, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
There was a wall that we were supposed to get rid of because it was just like, we thought it was like a garnish wall. Worse.
Oh, worse than termites?
Yeah, it was holding up the entire kitchen ceiling. This little wall, we were like, yeah, and then we'll just get rid of this wall. We'll put our big fridge there. And they were like, yeah. And they were like, talk.
Okay, so.
Wait a minute.
Okay. So wait. It was a structural wall that you didn't know, but it was doing a good job holding the ceiling up.
I mean, the ceiling's still up.
But
they did not plan.
But when they pulled it apart, was it like, oh shit, this could have like.
No, it was more like, that's going to be really hard to take out. Why is it so hard to take out? Why is there a big beam going across the ceiling? And because we were deleting a wall between the kitchen and the living room, and the living room's got a vaulted ceiling. So we had to do all this like crazy engineering.
I've been here before.
Yeah, so we had to do all this.
It's expensive as hell.
So, but here's the crazy
part. The structural engineer has to come in and take a look at it.
100%. So the guy literally just goes, that's a $10,000 to $15,000 job.
Oh, at minimum. And
well,
probably,
and
they're going to use steel to reinforce some of that shit. It's going to be
So
more.
what we did was we basically went, okay, well, let's try reorganizing how the kitchen's designed. And the designer came back, and she's super nice. And she just looks and she goes, she was like, you got the walls open.
It's time to move.
She was like, if you switch the fridge over here and you put a pantry over there, she was like, I could do it. She was like, but every time you open the fridge, you're gonna go, why the fuck didn't we just pay the 10 grand, 15 grand? So we called the guy and we're like, we're doing it. And he was like, oh, really?
Why don't you just go to Home Depot and make that shit yourself?
Oh, bro, the stuff that they had to do. They had to cut holes in the floor.
Because especially
and then
in
dig
California.
4.5 feet down, squared, pour concrete in it, add post. I mean, it's crazy. They just put it in. I'll send you a picture, Matt, when I get home. They just put in this fucking giant beam, so now there's no wall. It is crazy looking, the difference. Because you guys were just there.
Yeah.
That whole thing is now just all the kitchen and living room.
That's kind of dope, though.
It's going to be great, but it was one of those moments where I was like, oh boy.
You have a perfect sized little house. It's like not too big, not too small.
Yeah.
It's just a great spot.
We have enough rooms that We can have a guest room. I can have an office. Heather can have an office. And we use our dining room for a home theater thing, which is really cool.
I love it.
All right, well, before...
When's that done, by the way? When are we going to get to go check that back out?
Ooh, you.
Year from now.
Year from now. Arigato gozaimasu.
10 change orders later.
Yeah. Technically, I think 2 more months, but I know they want to kind of go a little bit faster because we were down for 2 weeks when they had to get the engineer back in and make sure. So it's it's been a tick. It's been a tick. Let's just say that.
All right.
We have some fun news.
Yes.
Guess what we finally got? Our first sponsors.
Yes.
So excited.
It's a little preamble before we do that. Something that's very important to me, and I know to you as well, is we feel very fortunate in that. Thank you all for watching the show. Number one, you've got the numbers up now to where it makes sense to bring on sponsors.
Yes.
But our promise to you is only to accept stuff that we actually truly can get behind and believe in.
100%. 100%.
We would much rather not sell an ad unit and just do the show than have something that we don't believe in. So know that is our lens in which we look through ads. But anyway, we just want to say that up front, that you and I care deeply
100%.
about the audience and making sure that we're actually recommending cool shit.
1,000%. And to that end, our first sponsor is Element Electrolyte Drink Mix, which my wife and I use on a daily basis, especially when we're at the gym.
I used mine yesterday at post sauna because every time I do sauna, I use Element to rehydrate.
Yeah. And then I'll get into the sponsor thing about Element, but a little side story, personal side story. So Heather and I have been going to this thing called Lift Society, which is it's basically like a class, but it's for weightlifting, free weights. So it's like a Pilates class where everybody has their own machine, but the machine is a rack of free weights.
Right.
And it's been fantastic. We've been going for 2.5 years.
No cardio?
No cardio. It's all just, we get in.
That.
Oh, it's so great. But also screw cardio. I come out of there fucking sweating head to toe. I burn 500 calories every time I go in.
Yeah.
And gaining muscle and all that stuff. Anyway.
You're looking good.
6 months, thank you. Woo! 6 months in, I was doing some ab exercises and I was constantly getting Charlie horses in my abs whenever I would do the ab stuff at the end. And
classic ab horse.
And my buddy comes up, the trainer, Matt, comes up to me and he goes, you're getting a lot of Charlie horses. And I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck this shit, it sucks.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, are you taking electrolytes? And I go, how would I know to take electrolytes? And he was
everybody knows that?
No, well, this is what I'm saying. Hey, let us educate because nobody gets hydrated enough. I'm never drinking enough water. That's just part and parcel of me being alive. And also, I needed the potassium that you can get in a drink like Element. And so we started drinking Element and my Charlie horses went away. It was fantastic. So one of the things that's so great about Element is it's a 0 sugar electrolyte drink mix. And not only does each packet have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, or electrolytes, but it also has 200 milligrams of potassium, which is what I was severely lacking.
I get those muscle spasms if I don't have enough potassium. Those little tiny little ones, the one under your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that shit. Yeah.
That's potassium too?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It'll get you.
See, I don't have to worry about that anymore. By the way, both Heather and I's favorite flavor, if you are ordering, is orange.
I like watermelon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm watermelon man.
I could do watermelon. I should do, Anyway, so the other thing is look, the proof is in the pudding, right? So they've partnered with Team USA's Olympic weightlifting team. A bunch of Olympic athletes use this. The freaking Navy SEAL teams use it. I mean, anything that's good enough for the Navy SEALs, I feel like it's good enough for me.
That's true.
In my peak physical form.
Yes, I mean, you're practically a Navy SEAL.
I'm practically a Navy SEAL. If anything came through the windows, if this place had windows, I'd be under a desk like a baby seal. Anyway, but you can get an offer if you go to drinklmnt.com/dig, D-I-G-G. You can get a free Element sample pack with any purchase. So head over there, give it a try. You'll get a sample pack. Find your flavor, you know what I mean? Find your flavor and then just buy a bunch. And also, they now have an Element sparkling water.
Right.
So it's 16-ounce sparkling water infused with the electrolytes, which I have yet to try, but I now am going to because it sounds amazing. And the other thing is they have a no questions asked refund. So if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine too. all you have to do is just email hello@drinklmnt.com, and they're going to take care of you.
Awesome.
All right, well, shall we get to the first story?
First story of the day.
Robotic exoskeletons help Chinese tourists climb the country's most punishing mountain. I love this story because have you seen the videos of the tourists going through? So there's basically this like mountain pilgrimage, and it's not like, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just there's it's called Mountain Tai in eastern China, Chinese province of Shandong, and essentially, what?
I said it's a great province.
It's great. It's the best kind of dong.
Yeah.
It's my favorite, the mountaintop dong of Shandong. By the way, we should go to China. You've been to China. You did the tea thing in China.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
All my tea burned in the fire.
Oh, yeah. I keep bringing things up like that. I feel so bad.
I was aging puer tea from 10 years ago.
Oh,
anyway.
Puer. But it's really funny because there's a lot of like social media videos that I have seen over the years of people just full on jelly leg, just trying to get, and it's not a steep, it's just consistent. Right? Like it's not like steep stairs. And so people are just like, oh, I want to make it up and go up to Mount Tai and like see the thing. And so they just start. And once you start, it's like, what are you going to do? Turn around? You still got to walk all the way back down.
Yeah.
So you see all these people with like the jelly legs and
that would be me.
Oh my God, it would totally be me. Well, a company has started, I don't think they've officially launched the service. It's like a pilot service now. But for between $8 and $11,
it's like a Robo Sherpa.
You can literally wear your own exoskeleton.
That looks like it's doing nothing, dude.
No, people are saying that it makes all the difference in the world because it's just enough. Kevin, it's just enough.
It's just enough.
No, it's jerking their thighs.
Barely.
But it's just enough. That's the whole thing. It's not, Ripley at the end of Aliens. It's just enough.
When I saw this story, I was expecting like a full-on like climb.
Of course you were.
Like a freaking term.
But how great is this? But this is the stepping stone.
Just enough.
And by the way, one of the guys said, it's like I feel like someone is pulling my legs up the mountain.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Right?
Yeah, but then how long does it last? What's the battery?
5 hours of use.
Where's the battery pack?
Okay, they show it here, I think. Hold on. Yeah, look. There on the
tiny
hips.
battery pack.
It's multiple. There's two. There's at least two.
First of all, that little battery pack is like something you would snap onto a drone that would have 12 hours or 12 minutes of time.
Yeah, but it's just slightly jerking the legs. It's not like it's got a, you know what I mean? It's not like you're using it to lift a tub into a van.
I want to try it. I would use this. Well, I mean, if they had a more aggressive version of this.
Oh, I think there's settings.
For Everest.
It'd be great for Everest.
I would do that with Everest.
By the way, pretty soon, people are literally just going to get into a mechanical basket.
Oh, 100%.
With oxygen, and then it's just going to walk them up on the little ATST legs.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
I didn't really climb at them, but yeah, I hear you.
I mean, they're not really climbing it now.
I wonder if this is how much of this is hype versus like. It's too bad this is in China because otherwise we'd get them on the show and try it, but.
I mean, that's an assumption that you can't get them on the show and try it. Yeah. I feel like we should reach out to this company, somebody.
Yeah.
And
we've got a lot of, by the way,
if
anyone has connections in China, we've covered Chinese sex bots.
We'd also like one of those.
We've covered the mechanical legs. There's a lot of things in China we need to go out.
That's at least two. That's at least two.
Their new AI is pretty good too. That new one that came out.
Oh yeah, deep. What's it called? Deep Sync?
Deep
Seek. Yeah, something like that.
R1. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. All right.
Anyway, very excited. How are we doing on time now?
We're doing great. Yeah,
good.
Keep it up.
All right.
Okay, good.
Next story of the day, wanted to talk about a gaming rig.
Oh, yes.
And also the Switch 2. So
yes.
It is gaming season, I've decided.
I like that.
The reason being is that
you want it to be.
I haven't built a computer since since like the Pentium days and shit.
I know.
It's been a long time.
I get that.
And I was like, I when you kind of don't have anything and then you're like, well, I should have a little hobby.
Yeah.
I was like, it'd be fun to have a proper little gaming rig and just like you blow off a little steam every now and then, my Steam account. And
blow off my Steam account.
And then, so I started going into it deep.
Yeah.
And you're on a thread with me and Will, and we're talking about gaming rigs. So I finally came up with a gaming rig.
I love it.
I'm going to do the 9800 X3D, the new
you're doing AMD,
chip.
not Intel, which is good because I think I got I can't remember which one, or like 1300 or 13,000, something like that. It's not been a problem for me, but there's been an issue with the current gen architecture of Intel that's like screwing around with stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I have a patch for it now.
Well, I mean, that's great, but like, I understand why you're going AMD, because I've always been...
But AMD chips are faster now.
I know, but I've always been hesitant. It's almost like...
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Intel's
But it's okay. I'm going.
Okay.
My next build is going to be AMD.
All right. So anyway, spec'd it all out. Got a really dope case. I can send out a picture of it. It's kind of
the case is
little
super
bit
cool.
of like wood and it looks pretty cool.
It's very modern.
Excuse me. I got an X870E motherboard. I said ASRock, but is ASRock? Is that the name of the motherboard company?
Asus?
No. Not Asus. I wouldn't pronounce Asus like ASRock.
I don't know what you're trying to pronounce. ASRock.
It's
Asus.
ASRock.
Yeah, it's like Asus.
Have you not seen these motherboards?
No. It's the It's Asus.
Oh, is this Asus?
Yeah, isn't it Asus and ROC is their like gaming arm, right?
Oh, I didn't know this was an Asus company.
Yeah. Look at
Okay, so I see why you thought Asus.
ASRock.
I just thought it was a new, because I haven't been in the game for so long. I literally thought it was
I'm pretty
new
sure
manufacturer called ASRock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Asus.
Well, it looks like
ROC.
now that I look at the logo, it's the
ASRock.
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 Thank you.
Because I think that's like shortened what people called the Asus Rock or the Asus Rock.
I gotcha. Okay,
And so they called it ASRock.
Listen, whatever it is,
ASRock.
it's a very heavy and durable motherboard.
What did you end up doing with the monitor?
I got that.
I know we were going back and forth.
I got the OLED, so I could get the deep blacks because each has.
You got
so
to make sure you
I
get
went
the
with
deep
that.
blacks. That's great.
High response time. It's actually an Asus monitor as well. I'll have to get the exact model number.
What size did you go with?
32.
That's good.
Yeah.
And same 16:9, no ultra wide.
Exactly.
Man, the ultra wide has really fucked with my brain.
Head.
I get it. And I will say, when I first set up my 34-inch, I think mine is actually an Asus, or Asus, ultra wide. When I first set it up, it was overwhelming. It felt like I was I was using VR. Like it's just like, because there's so much in your periphery.
Right.
But gaming, I couldn't go back because you see so much there, because you get to see in your peripheral.
Right.
So it's really an interesting thing. I wouldn't go back. However, I could understand not getting to do it in the first place because I don't think not having it is a detriment. But I think once you have it, it's hard to not have it.
Well, here's the cool thing.
If that makes sense.
Because of the size of it and because I have no monitors, like zero, I thought to myself, okay, this could always be a backup like Mac monitor.
Oh, yeah.
If 6 months from now I'm like, it's not for me, I want the wider one or whatever.
Oh, I get that.
And then you can always go on Amazon and like, damn, good return policy.
Yeah.
And
I
just,
get
like,
that.
Put it back.
Yeah.
But anyway, everything else is pretty standard. Oh, the new freaking video cards.
Yeah, that's the next step. I know we're working on trying to get.
So what I did is, rather than get, because obviously there's a brand new video card that NVIDIA just came out with.
So you didn't get the 5090s?
Is it the 5090?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did not get the hottest one because I did the research.
What did you get?
It's dropping right now. I mean, it's coming out right now.
Yeah.
And so I went out and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the brand new one, like, because of course I want the dope video card. And dude, it's going for like 40 or 50% over retail.
Oh yeah, no.
They're like $5,000 for the card. I'm like, no.
No.
And so my theory is it's going to take about 6 months for those prices to normalize, right?
Yeah.
Because the supply demand side, blah, blah, blah.
Well, and it's also not like the last gen where there was a big crypto thing.
Right.
They're not really optimized for crypto mining. So I think that has tamped down. So now it's just people who want them for video gaming.
Exactly. So what I did is I stepped down like 3 cards. And I just went and got like a good
like a 4070
$600.
Ti?
I'll tell you exactly which one it is, but I just got a very standard card because I figure like, if I'm going straight in on like, let's just
this
call
is all going to be new, man. You're going to be like,
right. I'm going to be blown away regardless. Yeah. And then when I get a better card, I'll even be more stoked. But like, I'm largely just playing like Diablo and shit.
Oh yeah.
It's not like I'm pushing like the shit out of the card. So I got a 4070 OC overclocked edition.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I mean, it's, it was $600.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And it's going to be fine, right?
Yeah, you don't need much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just use that for the first, 4 or 5 months until the prices come down and then flip over the big.
Plus you're set, right? You've built the PC so that
Right.
the moment you're ready to upgrade to one of the 50 series, you don't have to do anything except pull that one out and put that one in.
That's right. And I was wrong about the display. It's a 27-inch.
I was going to say, I was like, 32 is pretty big.
Yeah, so in 27, it is the Asus ROG Swift.
Oh, it's ROG, not ROC. Interesting.
See, that's the other series. So I don't know if ASRock is owned by Asus or not.
I think it's got to be. It's the same logo, too.
ASRock owned by Asus. Yes,
Yeah,
ASRock
I was
is
like, I knew
owned
it
by
had to, but-
is owned by Petatron.
Petatron, which is part of the Asus group.
Okay, well, there we go. Petatron. What a horrible name. No, Pegatron. That's even worse.
Well, it's less of sounding like a pedophile than it is.
Then you're getting in
Pegasus.
the Peg world, which is like.
And nobody takes Pegasus and goes to Peg World.
Well, it's called a Pegatron.
Oh, the Pegatron. That
Yeah,
is
like
worse.
if there was
That is
going to be
worse.
a
Actively
device.
worse.
that
No,
would-
it's actively
Yeah.
worse. I get it now. I thought you said Pegasus. I didn't. No. Yeah,
Pegatron.
Pegatron is not.
You probably change your name at that point if you're a company. You're like,
Although this is the thing, because it's a Chinese company. Do they get that Pegatron means Pegatron? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think about this sometimes where they're like, welcome to masturbation,
Yeah. With
station.
like a name of something.
And you're like,
it's like
that's
you're
not in
connecting the
English.
dots.
That's not good.
Yeah.
But you're the master of the station.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Pegatron.
Pegatron's fine. Pegatron.
All right. So Switch 2 is very exciting to me.
Oh, yes.
I'm a huge Nintendo fan.
As per your Halloween costume.
As per my Zelda Halloween costume, which is now burned. I was just kidding.
Can't bring anything up.
Yeah, no.
I love that you said, I'm just kidding, like you had it in your car just in case.
No, it's actually burned. It's gone. So is the Master Sword. Thanks for bringing it
God.
up. So let's compare the two. So the one thing I will say, obviously, it's been 20 years since the Switch has come out.
20 years?
No, I'm joking, but it's been a long time.
I was like, Jesus Christ, how old am I?
The Switch came out it has to have been 10 years, right?
2016 maybe, which is very close to
I don't know. Anyway, so we're obviously still same ARM architecture. They went to 8 cores versus 4.
2017.
No big jump there. Still sticking with the NVIDIA GPU, which is great.
Yep.
Obviously, a better one. The CUDA cores, interesting. So before, the old one was 256 in terms of the GPU cores, 1,536. So pretty decent leap there on the Switch 2.
Which is so cool because that size monitor is like the perfect monitor.
Yeah.
And then most of the time when you're plugging it in, even in HD, like it's not like, you know what I mean? Like it just, the graphics look great because that was always the move with Nintendo once they did the Wii, where it was like, we're not going to compete with these big companies that are just bounding out like crazy high-end, Unreal Engine 17 and all this crazy stuff. They were like, let's just make really great games because that's what Nintendo does. And they fucking killed it.
Yeah, I mean, in everything spec-wise from device to device is pretty much more or less tripled. Like the RAM went from 4 to 12. The RAM bandwidth went from 20 to 68. Storage went from 64 gigabytes to 256. Screen size, they did have a 7-inch OLED, which they came out with, maybe a year or two ago. It's been a couple years. And they jumped up to an 8-inch now at 1080p, which is nice. It's just, it's a great, they've kind of sanded down all the rough edges on this device in terms of like the controllers, how they work and all that stuff. Everything looks good.
Yeah, I saw the video of the snap side snaps.
Yeah, and one of them actually can work as a mouse now, which is crazy, which came out in a patent, which is pretty exciting. But the thing that I'm curious about is I've heard that Microsoft is kind of thrown in the towel. You mentioned this.
So Microsoft.
Yeah, so what's the deal there?
Well, they basically just went, we are not necessarily going to have the Xbox exclusives not go over to Switch. I mean, they basically went, there's a whole platform that's fantastic.
They're getting their ass
love
kicked.
it. I mean,
Really, the
They haven't
PS5
really
is
won
outselling the Xbox like 3-1 or some shit. Like,
Dude, that was always the console wars were always that way. You know what I mean? Like I was always like,
yeah, but Microsoft had a fighting chance there for a minute.
oh, dude, when the first Xbox came out with Halo, like that was, and it had all the stuff. It had like built-in Ethernet, which the first PS1.
Oh, I guess you probably did use that.
Oh, dude, I loved it. It was great because you could do LAN parties.
Oh yeah, it's a good point.
Crossover cables, man. I had
Crossover cable.
Dude, we used to have LAN parties where my friends would bring their CRT televisions and their Xboxes to my apartment in Brentwood.
Mm-hmm.
We would run crossover cables through the heating duct so that two of us were sitting with our own TVs, our own Xboxes in my bedroom, and two of us were sitting with our own TVs, our own Xboxes in the living room. And holy shit, pre like good online games.
Right.
It was fucking killer.
That was
remember the old days where you used to have the piece of cardboard? Like whenever you would do,
I've had cardboard before.
You would do the competitions between two people in the split screen, and in order to not keep looking
you
up,
put the cardboard.
you would literally put a piece of like a big piece of cardboard, and someone would sit low, and then someone would sit high, and you'd play. I fucking love those days.
That's
dude.
amazing.
I miss those days.
Well, you know what?
Talking on Discord is great, and I still do it all the time, but like. Nothing beats that. Like
We gotta find. Here's the deal. Here's my promise to everyone out there. Once I get this PC built,
yes,
let's you and I find a multiplayer game and
Yes.
do a Diggnation event multiplayer game thing with everybody watching.
100%. We could probably find
What would you want to play? I mean, I love Counter-Strike.
so many.
I'm probably
Counter-Strike.
a little rusty
Oof.
at it. I know you get smoked.
I've been doing Apex Legends if I'm doing shooters.
Look at Aston giving me shit. First of all, Aston's rocking the dad shoes.
Everybody's got dad
Someone
shoes
got the
here.
memo.
Hey.
He had to one up me.
New
The second I
Balance.
walk in the door, I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. And then he's like, I'm like, cool dad shoes. And he's like, these were the ones that the Steve Jobs actually wore. So that's exact
Oh my
model.
God, that's amazing.
Do they still sell those, or do you have to buy them?
I was drunk on the couch once and she's like, what kind of shoes did Steve Jobs wear?
That's amazing.
Like $200.
That is the official dad shoe.
I mean, that's
yours are just dad shoes.
I know, mine have nutsacks on the back.
His
of
are
them.
these.
Those are real.
They do look like camel toes.
I think there's a massive camel
It's a
toe
massive
on the
camel
back.
toe in the back.
It's a little embarrassing now that I look
That's
at
all right.
it, but it's okay.
Squeezies.
Anyway,
All right, well, I'm excited for the Switch 2.
I am too.
I know he's excited about the Switch 2, but I'm also excited about our sponsor 2,
yes,
which I believe
is our second and last sponsor.
second to last sponsor of this episode.
of the day, and we're stoked. I'm stoked to have the sponsor back again, Delete Me, because back in the day, I don't do sponsors on the Kevin Rose Show anymore, just because I don't do that frequently. But they were kind enough to sponsor that show, so I have a lot of experience with Delete Me, largely because I'm concerned with personal privacy. I mean, obviously, like. There's a whole slew of these data brokers out there that get our information from data breaches that happen when there's hack attempts or whatever it may be. You can get your address, you can get your name, all of your details can get out there.
Yeah.
And then sadly, unfortunately, they are sold and resold. Now, you can go to these brokers and kind of one-off request and do power of attorneys and shit and get them to take them down. But it is an absolute pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And so the reason I like Delete Me is because it's one service. You give them your info and then they proactively monitor and go out there and get this stuff removed from the internet so that you just can stay private.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to have their stuff all over the net and be able to be looked up.
Their service is in their name.
Yeah. So anyway, I've never stopped using them since I had them as a sponsor on the Kevin Rose Show. So I still have an account that I use actively, and I have my sister on there, and my wife, obviously my kids, and all that. They have these.
I should sign up.
They have these family accounts and all that. But anyway, the one thing that I will say is that we have a special deal with Delete Me. So if you want to take control of your data and keep your private life private, you want to sign up for Delete Me, and you can do so now with a special discount for our listeners. So today, you can get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/dig and use promo code DIG at checkout.
D-I-G-G.
The only way, D-I-G-G, the only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/dig and enter the code DIG at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/dig, code DIGG, DIG.
I'm totally going to do that. Because there's so many services that I just don't even know I need. And then I hear something like this and I'm like, why the hell am I not doing that? You know what I mean?
Well, the problem also is like, I don't know if you have this turned on in your password manager stuff, but it'll be like, your account was compromised over this service over there. And it's not just your password, it's all of your other crap. And then that stuff gets packaged and sold and resold and resold and resold. Anyway, this has helped me a ton with that type of stuff. So thank you, Delete Me, for sponsoring today's episode.
Dude, I am on it. I am on it. All right, let's get into some science, shall we?
Let's do it.
Solar-powered device captures carbon dioxide from the air to make sustainable fuel. So I'm sure people have heard about these things called CCSs, or carbon capture and storage processes, right? Where essentially they're making these big open devices that basically suck the carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and then store it, right? The problem is that, as great as that sounds, it takes an enormous amount of energy to do that.
Right.
So it's not just like you pull one carbon out and it goes into the ground. That's great. There's no carbon. It's like, well, you're pulling a carbon out, but it kind of costs you a little bit of carbon, maybe not a full carbon, to do that process. Right. And also you have to store it somewhere. It's not like we can like shoot it. It's not like what was it, Superman 4, where he just like threw all the nuclear weapons into space.
Oh yeah, that's when he had like that big
yeah. So it's like, you can't really just throw carbon dioxide into space as much as we'd like to. So what these guys at Cambridge University discovered was they built this solar-powered reactor that essentially has like this sponge mechanism that during the evening, it's like overnight, it sucks in all this carbon dioxide. And then when the sun comes up, the solar panels get hit, and what it does is it uses mirrors to like focus the power of the sun onto these things, and it makes this thing, which this substance, which is called, let me see if I can find it. It's called like solar syngas. So it's basically a synthetic gas. It converts CO2 into this solar syngas, and they can use that synthetic gas to make hydrogen. They can make fuels. They can do all this stuff.
Yeah, so it's used to power cars, planes, and more.
Yeah. So essentially, what they can do is, if they get this to work on scale, this is just now something that's working sort of locally. What it can do is it can overnight suck carbon dioxide out of the air, convert it to the solar syngas, and then they can use that syngas to then produce fossil fuels that can be used by our current systems, but not generate carbon dioxide.
But aren't we just doing the whole cycle all over again?
Well, no, because it'll be doing things like hydrogen fuel, so it'll be like all these things that then
slightly cleaner fuels from the syngas.
Definitely cleaner fuels than fossil fuels. But it also then kind of, one of the things that people said in this was they were like, look, this is a great idea, but the problem with carbon capture is it's not really attacking the problem that we're generating too much carbon dioxide. Right. So it's like, is it a Band-Aid? So it's like, it's got to go hand in hand with other things. But I just love the idea that now we're going to be able to take, because that's, as a kid, you're like, well, why don't we just take the carbon dioxide out of the air, do something with it?
Yeah.
And the answer is, nobody knows what to do with it. You know what I mean? And burying, like, I think currently some of the CCS systems are capturing carbon dioxide and fucking burying it.
It's almost like nuclear waste.
Yeah, which feels like that's not really helping the planet grow into its utter utopia.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's a lot of work.
Well, it is, but somebody else is doing it.
It's a good point.
I mean, Kevin, we're not doing it.
We're not doing, definitely not doing it.
And by the way, but you could see, like, I would say, like, there's a world in which, like, safe small nuclear, which I think might be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a world where everybody's house, or maybe even small subgrids, as they say, where, like, your neighborhood might be powered by a single small self-contained nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
I could see these things being installed like on people's roofs. And think about this. Think about like your electric bill. You get like a 50% off on your electric bill if you install one of these CO2 devices. You know what I mean? That's just sitting on your roof. Like, who cares? I mean, I got solar on my roof. It's like, it's just there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think about it. But then also you could think about like where these could be installed in like higher risk areas. Like, I know one of the biggest issues that we have with our carbon impact is that there are a lot of places like China and Brazil and all these places where it's not the top priority. It's fucking India is like it's like smog central. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like this type of stuff then sent to and deployed in places like India where it's the most high impact versus some place like the United States where we're really trying to be conscious of it, even though we could do better. I mean, I think everybody could do better. It's an interesting thing. Yeah, especially that like what comes out of it is a beneficial product that we could actually use.
The one thing that I'm always curious about when I hear startups about that talk about this kind of capture and disposal is like, and this came up a lot in electric cars when it was okay. Yes, obviously getting energy. There's a bunch of factors with electric cars, but one of them is like, okay, what's the source material of the energy coming into the car?
Yeah, of course.
Because if it's coming from a coal plant that's burning down the street, it's not really green, right?
Yeah.
And then also, what's the payback time to break even?
Yeah.
Meaning like it costs a shit ton of carbon to make that car in the first place.
Yeah.
The batteries, everything else.
Yeah.
And actually, like if you spent, call it, average ownership of a car is like 7 years or something, or 6 years, whatever it may be. Are we actually at break even?
Yeah.
Because like it's going to take years and years and years to actually just even pay back the debt. And I know there's net zero plants and all this stuff and carbon offset credits, which are kind of bullshit a little bit. And so it's always there's so many devil in the details on this shit.
Dude, I know.
It's so hard.
This is why I think things like this, things like having an electric car, things like having solar on my house, they're just stuff that I get to go, yeah, I'm doing a thing.
But also, it's
you know what I mean? Like I get to go, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing.
But it's more than that, though. I think what it is it's like any novel new technology that comes out that is not mass consumer, meaning like you don't have millions of people using it overnight.
Yeah.
The early adopters are doing a very important thing, and it's not so much your impact on the environment, but what it is it's signaling, and it's also eventually reducing the cost and barrier to entry.
Oh, dude.
Because Tesla's the reason why they started off with a $100,000 Roadster was because that was a way that they could make a car and be break even. They knew batteries weren't didn't have the range. They didn't have. They knew they were fast as shit.
Yeah.
And then you get to scale, and eventually you get these things down to where it makes sense for the everyday person. I mean, there's so many technologies that are like this. Like when airline travel first started, especially with jets.
Oh yeah.
It was like a thing where people wore suits and ties.
100%.
Because it was a very expensive, luxurious thing to be able to travel on a jet. And now we have, Southwest tickets to Florida for $75.
Spirit Airlines, you can just stand in the aisle for $10 and get anywhere you want.
Free. Like they'll pay you to use their service. Like,
they'll pay you to use their service. You just have to carry somebody else's bag.
Spirit is horrible. Can we all admit Spirit is horrible?
I'm pretty sure.
Have you been on a Spirit flight?
Thankfully not.
I have been on one.
That I can remember.
I took one to Bogota.
Why would you? What?
Because it was my friend's cheap, and he booked us on it, and it was a bachelor party. Oh, good bachelor party. But
we all know what happens in Bogota. Hey, Bogota. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
I'm really excited about what is it? Oh God, what's it called? The X1 or what's that? There's a new supersonic jet company.
Yes.
That they just went supersonic on the test jet for the first time in like 4 days.
I will
4 days ago.
not be taking that.
Oh, dude, I'm so in.
You would go
here to like LA or here to like London in 3.5 hours.
I'll sit there for 4.5.
Why? Well, I'm gonna have Xanax and sleep anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I guess if you're taking Xanny, you're just gonna Xanny down. But like,
Overture. Overture? It was the Boom X1, right?
I remember back in the day, you were like, my dad flies the Concorde, or he's flown the Concorde before. Yeah. And then the fucking thing goes down.
I mean, thankfully, he wasn't on it.
Yes.
Secondly, he was on the first flight, because he was stuck in London and had to get back, and he was on the first flight back, like the first flight that the Concorde flew after the accident. And my dad was like, because my dad flew a lot for work, and so I always asked him, I was like, well, did you ever get afraid of flying? And he was like, nah, it's fine. I did ask him once, and I'll have to double check, but I did ask him, I said, well, what's the like scariest thing that's ever happened? And he goes, well, we landed once, and we skidded off the runway tipped onto the wing and slid to a stop. That was pretty gnarly.
Not in the Concorde.
No, in the commercial plane.
Yeah, see, that's...
But this is also probably, 80s, 90s, whatever.
Yeah, they didn't have the tech we do now. Although there's still bad shit happening all over the place.
I know, there's a
So
couple.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
There is the flights that can obviously shave off, a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I want the teleportation shit where you walk through.
I mean,
and then you're on the other side. But let me throw another.
Throwing it out.
10 years from now.
10 years from now.
AI figures it out.
Oh, you want to trust AI being like, stand in here and I'll recombulate you in London.
This is my question.
Okay.
Okay. There's one right over here.
Just standing right there.
Right here. And it can take you to London.
That sounds
2
fun.
seconds. It'll get you there.
Dude, lunches open up everywhere.
1.5 million.
500,000?
Your penis is on your ass. Sorry, or something.
Whoa!
No, do you
that's the only thing that ever goes wrong?
Do you remember?
But then you just gotta wait until it goes back. Oh, yeah. When his head turned around, somebody's like
backwards,
who didn't tell me I had such a big ass?
Yeah, exactly. Like you walk through the portal and like something's completely disconfigured.
Okay, but can they fix it?
No.
I mean, I don't. Maybe if you give me a maybe.
Let's say no. 1.5 million. Would you walk through it?
1 in 500,000. I would definitely walk through it once, just to be like, I can't believe I fucking teleported in my lifetime. Because the likelihood that your penis is in your ass is very small.
But then you get hooked on it, right? Because then you're like, I'm just going to London today. And like, all of a sudden you've done it 10,000 times. And then like your odds, and then all of a sudden it's like, boonk, like
dick unicorn.
You gotta check for houseflies in that pot.
Oh yeah.
There's a story from 2 days ago. Teleportation achieved between quantum computers and world first. So,
see,
we're getting there.
Mal saying teleportation.
How many dicks were lost in that experiment?
Exactly.
it says only 2.
Only 2 dicks lost.
Yeah,
so that's great. That's
the kind of stuff. Well,
you would totally do that. Come on. If somebody said like, here's a thing, forget.
Well, does it mean death though? Like real talk, it's not just gonna be a penis on the forehead. Like, is it mean
let me
that
put
like
it this
I
way.
lose an arm?
Here, let me put it this way.
Okay.
What if the likelihood of dying through teleportation was the same as flying commercial?
Oh, I would do it then, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so great.
The best.
Just
what
like,
if it was half though? If it was like half, like meaning it was double the risk.
I mean, still double the risk. Safest thing you do is fly.
Safer than driving a car.
Yeah. But is it double safe as
the same as dying in a fatal car accident?
I would totally do it. I drive my car all the fucking time. I'm taking a car from here.
Same as colon cancer.
Yeah, I do get screened for colon cancer.
That's like 1 in 8.
That's 1 in 8?
It's something bad. It's pretty high.
that seems extraordinarily high.
Let's see.
1 in 8 people die of colon cancer.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad. It's 1 in 24 men.
Die of colon cancer?
No, they get it in their lifetime. Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. 1 in 25. I'd be sitting in the waiting room looking at like, which one of us fuckers is gonna die?
Yeah, exactly.
There's literally 24 people there like, in the next 25 minutes, one of us is gonna die.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
God damn, it's like Hunger Games.
There's the philosophical question of what if the way it works is it makes a copy and then destroys the one on this end.
So it makes a copy and destroys the original, but are you in the new copy or no?
Well, that's the whole thing with the Prestige. The new copy is the same consciousness that you were when you walked in.
But I'm fine with it.
But so is the one that stopped.
Well, then that one's dead.
I mean, I'm kind of with him. I mean, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, right. I will think that I went through, and I will not notice that I died.
You wouldn't even know that you died.
All right, I diet. I'm in. I would use it too much.
That's the really interesting thing about death.
But then would they use your meat as like a meat alternative? Whoa, what? The thing about death is that death might not even exist?
This is a more
I see what you mean. You mean like that our bodies may stop, but the part of our consciousness goes on?
No. Meaning that like, if you, let's just, God, this is going to get super heady.
This is great.
I'll go there with you.
Wade in the waters.
So, this is just like some shit. So,
okay, let's just talk about it.
If death means the lack of consciousness, then the only thing you could ever experience is consciousness. Then the only thing you could ever experience is life.
I mean, yes. Yeah, there's no experience of being dead.
Right.
To you.
Well, you were never dead.
Right, you could never be
Tell me when you were dead.
No, right. And by being dead, you could never consciously be in the state of death.
Right. Because the only thing you know is life.
No one has ever experienced death. Does it
No one
exist?
has ever experienced death.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let's end the episode right there. It's like perfect.
On that lovely note, that is so fucking. I mean, yes, yeah, 100%. We will not understand. Well, no, I mean, you could.
So this is where it gets really crazy.
But I will say, you sure as fuck could experience dying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You may not experience death, but you sure as fuck could experience
here's
dying.
the craziest shit. So
That's the part. By the way, I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of dying.
Right.
The slow, the getting hit by a car and being like 20 minutes of, oh God, it's happening. Not yet.
I'm not afraid of dying.
I'm still alive.
Well, I'm mostly not afraid of dying.
Mostly dead.
Because I know that I have enough resources to be pumped with drugs by some good doctor that would like Michael Jackson the shit out of me if I was like going down.
Oh, I see. You're just, so you would, well, so this goes to the other thing. Let's say, you're going down. You got a couple days, week, month.
Did I tell you I did the Michael Jackson routine?
What is is that the dance routine?
You better clarify what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, good point.
Was Bubbles involved?
So baby oil was not involved. What I did do was that
doing the Michael Jackson
I
routine.
had a colonoscopy.
Oh, so you did the Episcopal or whatever it's called?
And the propofol.
Propofol.
And I went in there and if you're an anesthesiologist, they put you under and everything. And I was like, what are we using today? And he's like, propofol. And I was like, oh, that's the shit that Michael Jackson died on. You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I was like, can you give me the slow ramp? And so I asked,
what's that?
slow ramp means instead of being like, boom, and you're out, like just give it to me over like 20 seconds kind of situation. Like a little like push in slow with a little like, because they're putting it in.
I mean, they're doing a lot. They're pushing a lot in slow when you're getting your colonoscopy.
No, I know. I didn't mean.
This is the Michale Jackson routine.
I didn't mean the.
Were you moonwalking?
Dildonics
Yeah.
Of it all.
Dildonics.
I meant that just the drug itself. And what the crazy part was, it took me about, typically you like lose consciousness within like 10 seconds. They count to 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like more like 35 to 40. And dude.
Did you have like the craziest feeling?
It was the craziest peace I've ever felt in my life. Like just peace that everything was like, there was A-okay. And no
so
fear of death. And I was like, I see how Michael Jackson went.
Yeah, because that is, if you're gonna go, that's a way to go, because you just like peacefully go to sleep.
But it was also like I kind of felt like, in some sense, like not happy for him, but I'm glad that he went in peace, because obviously a severely tortured individual on who knows what number of fronts.
Let me ask you a question about the colonoscopy.
Yes.
Because I've done one.
Yeah.
And there was a surprise.
Oh, they found some shit.
No. I mean, just like the act of doing it, right? Because
You were awake?
No. Let me get to the thing. Let me land the plane. So you're on the gurney. You're in your little swabs. They got the stuff.
Cold,
they check you in. And they're like, okay, and then they walk you into the room.
Yeah, lights. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is great. And then they get me up on the thing.
Why did they have to move you? They normally
because there was like a prep area.
Yeah, they're like turn sideways. So they always say turn sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I have to do this part? Like, I didn't want to be involved in any of this. I wanted to go unconscious and then wake up and then be in bed again. Like, I didn't want to present my ass to the people in the room.
Dude, you have to perk it up.
I know, but I was like, I was not expecting that. So if you haven't had a colonoscopy yet, just know.
Why is it that bad?
It's not that bad. It just was unexpected.
Yeah.
I did it.
Well, yeah.
Because I lay down on the thing and the guy's like, okay, let's put this in. And I was like, great. And they're like, okay, Alex, could you just lean onto your side? And I was like, why? Okay.
They're not
all right.
Dude, they're not doing a colonoscopy through your penis.
I know, but I just figured, just knock me out and do whatever you want. Like alien abduction. Roll me over, throw me up, get the thing, crank me up on the
It's easier for them.
I get it, because as soon as they were like, could you roll over? I was like, oh.
Here's the worst
It is easier for you, but now I'm involved in the procedure.
No. I went in mine, and there's this extremely attractive nurse.
No.
Yes.
Hard pass. Cannot. Impossible. Get her out of there.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why?
Yeah, she was like, Mr. Rose.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you please present this way, Mr. Rose?
You know what? If you're gonna,
Look, if you got to do it, why not have a little fun with the propofol?
Okay, so
Next story.
Congrats, Michael Jackson.
Next story.
Hope you're well.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on to the next story, which is flying insect drones. So we have heard of high-speed drones. We have heard of low-speed drones.
I have not, but I think they exist.
Have you heard of this new MIT robotic insect flight record being broken by this little tiny, slightly menacing-looking
Dude, we're gonna get to we are so gonna get to the like little drone in the sci-fi movies that's like the size of a fly.
Like Dune.
Yeah.
When it came through and it was like had the poison and shit.
Yep. And not only that, but just think of like how small cameras are now.
Oh, dude.
How
Look
small
at this guy.
microphones
This
are.
guy can fly for 17 minutes.
17 minutes? That's enough.
But think about it. This is going to be like that 17 minutes is going to be in a decade. It's going to be freaking hours.
Dude, and smaller.
And smaller.
You're literally not going to be able to
little
go.
drones just like going around and like following you and shit.
Oh God, I don't like that. I don't like that. The drones, I've never been a fan. I like drones like, oh, we're using it to like shoot a commercial through the hotel. Like, that's cool. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Drone racing, fucking crazy.
Oh, drone racing's crazy.
Dude, with the fucking goggles and the...
Yeah, they're too fast. Yeah, but
so fast. I don't even know how the fuck you do it.
It's cool.
Love all that shit. But like, there are times when I'm like just in my backyard and I hear that you're like, oh, come on, dude.
Have you seen the drone catchers?
No.
No,
Are
they make
like...
these little guns that are almost like those t-shirt cannons that shoot out ropes that wrap around drones, like in the air.
So what is the legal ramifications of that?
Nothing.
If there's a drone over my property.
Yes, you can shoot it with a drone catcher.
I mean, this is my lawyer, Kevin Rose. So you heard it here first. I'm buying one of those things, and if you fly over my house, I'm shooting you down.
Where's my shit?
Like, I want to know, like, is that legal to like down a drone? Are you gonna ask Santa Claus?
I got Santa off the phone.
Ho, ho, ho.
Quick question for you. If there is a drone hovering over my property and I have a, you could call it like a drone catcher. It's like a weaponized version of a snatch net that will launch and capture said drone in the air. Is that illegal if it's over my property? Can I take that drone down and sequester it?
Laws about dealing with drones over your property vary by location.
Okay.
Generally, it's a good idea to check local regulations. In many places, actively capturing or disabling a drone can be illegal, even if it's over your property. You might want to consult local authorities or legal advice to understand the best course of action.
I appreciate the PC answer, but can you look up on the internet LA law and tell me if in Los Angeles I can capture a drone that's over my house? It's getting really close now and I'm a little scared.
Dialing 911.
Sorry, keep going.
You should probably contact local authorities or 911 if you feel unsafe.
No, that was Alex saying 911. We don't want to call 911. I just want to know, I've got the device aimed at it right now, and I just want to capture this drone and make it my own. Can you check and see what the rules are in LA?
I understand your concern. However, it's best to avoid taking action yourself. Capturing or interfering with a drone.
Wait. I just shot the drone. Now it's on my property and it's buzzing. It wants to be put out of its misery. I have a shovel. Can I destroy it completely?
I'm not a legal expert, but you might want to avoid damaging the drone and contact local authorities to handle the situation. They can provide guidance on the best course of action.
It has a countdown clock. It appears to be some type of explosive drone. I'm worried it might blow up. I don't have time to contact legal authorities. Should I throw it into my neighbor's yard?
This sounds like a very dangerous situation. If you believe there's an immediate danger, you should distance yourself.
There are two wires, a red wire and a black wire and a yellow one. Given your expertise, there's three wires. Given your expertise in disarming bombs, I really need your help here. Don't tell me you're not going to answer my shit. Like, just tell me which wire should I cut for the best odds of not blowing up. MacGyver, look at MacGyver data.
I'm not a trained professional in bomb disposal. Please prioritize your safety and contact emergency services immediately.
It's too late. It's too late. We died. We're dead.
We did.
I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. Emergency.
Okay,
That's the best.
ChatGPT could not. They need to be MacGyver GPT.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know what I mean? Like just
Red
one-
wire. Actually, we should make that. All you have to do is just feed in the scripts of MacGyver
Yes.
and just be like, what would MacGyver do in this situation?
Any situation you're taking care of.
First step, take out your pocket knife.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And some duct tape.
I love it.
MacGyver.
Oh, I got a good
Hour in.
story.
I know you do. Well, let's hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Starbucks' new boss is banking on mug hugs to get customers to hang around longer. So this is interesting. We were talking about coffee.
Oh, we got to get Alex another glass of red.
Of champagne.
You want champagne?
No, I hate champagne. You like champagne. Do you want champagne?
I need to save myself.
Save yourself from more?
Well,
we should do another round. Let's do another round.
Another round.
Yeah.
What did you have?
It was a
I just had
tequila-
a water.
A tequila,
I was just a tequila-based drink,
one of the,
like a margarita.
and mine was
It was the
the Dao.
Dao
DAO.
of wine.
It was Dao
Diggnation.
Cabernet. Thank you, Mao.
Which great book, by the way. Pick it up.
So here's the thing. We live next to a Starbucks.
Yes, I know you do.
So I've seen the ebb and flow of that Starbucks over the years like crazy, right? So like I remember a lot of changes that they're gonna roll back. So Starbucks has a new CEO.
What does the ebb and flow of a Starbucks look like? Like you saw
So, like,
a peppermint latte get discontinued.
I mean, yes, that's the ebb. But honestly, like there are certain things, and this guy is talking about bringing some of these things back. So like a good example is, I remember when they took what they call the condiment bar out. So there's no more place where you put in milk, where you put in sugars. So if you want sugars in your coffee, you have to ask the barista.
That's fair.
And they'll put it
I
in.
thought you meant they got rid of the little sandwich and little snackies.
No, they still have sandwich and snackies.
Okay.
But also, the rise of the mobile orders has been crazy. When I go into that Starbucks, there's like 3 or 4 people sitting and like 15 people standing by the bar waiting for their mobile order.
Oh, interesting.
The other thing is like now, because of the volume, they print all this stuff on labels. So there's no more hand drawing. Even when you go to order, they don't write your name on the thing. Because remember, people used to like that, where it was like, oh, this is my name, and this is like, oh, have a good day.
Like the cup.
Yeah, there's like a little, it was interesting.
Yeah.
So one of the things a couple of the different things that this guy basically said on a Q1 earnings call, where he was like, I've sort of coined the term internally called the mug hug. And essentially he was like, we've lost the sort of charm of it being a coffee shop. And we've kind of leaned into this sort of like mobile, quick, like another one that they did, he didn't talk about this specifically, but another one was like, they stopped using the grinders for the coffee. And they went to an internal grinder in the device that makes the coffee.
Yes.
So they don't smell like coffee.
Right.
Because the thing
It's
that
all
smells
like-
like
yeah,
coffee is the grinding of the coffee. The brewing of the coffee has a smell, but the grinding of the coffee. So it was like all of a sudden it was like, oh, it doesn't smell like a Starbucks. It doesn't smell like a coffee shop
Well,
anymore.
also there's like a very like tactile sense of like I'm at a coffee shop when you hear
the grinding,
the
and
more
the-
intense grinding noise and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So what he basically said was he's going to bring back ceramic mugs. So if you're gonna get a coffee there, you'll get it in a mug, like in an
Everyone's gonna
actual.
steal the shit out of those.
But you know, because they want to get people to stay in Starbucks more, as it sort of used to be a place that people would like go and work and hang out. Where it's it's still kind of like that. But then they also said they're bringing back the condiment bar. So people can sort of make their drink however they want once they get it.
Save some money.
They're bringing back the hand drawing or handwriting of the names on the coffee mugs when you're there. So if you order a coffee, they put a little thing.
Okay.
I know, but it's like it's all part and parcel of that thing where he wants
the
to
hug.
feel more of the hug, the mug
Mug
hug,
hug.
the mug hug. He's also going to, and this I think is going to be.
Did he mention serving like not shitty coffee?
He did not mention that.
Okay, because
he did not mention
that's
that.
probably a top.
He also said that they're going to not upcharge for non-dairy alternatives. So I guess right now, if you do like a
oat milk.
soy milk or oat milk instead
Yeah.
of milk, you get an upcharge.
Are you
They're
a
not
milk fan?
I've never really. I like milk, so I don't need to. I mean, I like milk in my things that need milk. I don't necessarily want to like chug milk.
Yeah, but you have like a latte.
Oh yeah, latte, cappuccino,
Macchiato?
macchiato, arigato. So the other thing, all the other goes. So the other thing that they're gonna do, which I think is gonna be very interesting to see how it goes, specifically at the Starbucks that's near me, is they're gonna go away with anybody can use the bathroom.
What, they're getting rid of that?
Yeah, you'll have to buy something from Starbucks in order to use the bathroom.
Oh, interesting. I don't think it's a bad idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea. It's just one of those things that, like, you know, like my area, there's a lot of people that use that bathroom, but it's like, you know.
Let's be real for a second. Starbucks, a lot of them are oftentimes in places where, well, I mean, you just can't even avoid it, sadly, these days in a big city.
Yeah, I know, I was just about to say.
It's just like a lot of homeless everywhere. And I have walked into many a bathroom that, unfortunately, it was funny. I was just talking to Craig about this, Craig Mott over in Japan, about the difference between the homeless in Japan and the States.
Oh, interesting.
And he was telling me about how the homeless in Japan, they like leave their shoes outside of their tents before they go into their like little homeless tents.
Yeah.
He thinks this podcast will eventually come out, but he thinks that it's largely, I mean, obviously it's very cultural driven, but there's also people that aren't all cracked out because they don't have they don't have the meth, they don't have the problems with all the drugs that we do. But there's also just a respect for one's own personal space. And I have been in many of, you know, whatever, when you're doing a road trip or something, you pull over to Starbucks and you get the wrong person in there. I'm not saying it's all homeless, could be anyone. And they fuck up the bathroom and it just ruins the whole experience.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you put a little QR code on the cup and then you scan it when you walk in and it unlocks the
I mean, I think it's just as straightforward as, you know, there's a code even now and you have to ask the barista what the code is.
Yeah.
They tell you for free, like they tell you no matter what. But I think now it's just going to be, the code, you know, the bathrooms for, you know.
I mean, that's just a way of saying that they want homeless people out of.
Well, and also, it's not just homeless people too. Like, again, where we are is a sort of high travel, like tourist area. And so there's a lot of times where, you know, a lot of tourists will just go into a store because they're like, I just have to go to the bathroom. And everybody just goes, oh, go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of volume of people. I think what he's trying to stop is just a volume of people. Like, there are people waiting in line for that bathroom that aren't buying coffee.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let's get rid of those people and then see how that does. Let's figure out how to get people to stay in the Starbucks and not just order a mobile order and bounce. And we'll see if that affects. You know, one of the things that we've also felt is like, it would be really great to have a really good public toilet in our area.
Yes.
But the answer is like, it goes back to the same thing. It's like, you just can't do that. Like, there just isn't a way. I mean, they have those ones in Europe, right? Isn't it like in Switzerland or Sweden where it self-cleans after every person goes in? Like the whole fucking place? Yeah, it's like the whole place is like, you know, the nuclear clean option.
You have to do it. I remember one time I was in San Francisco and they have those public bathrooms that you can, you know, I think you put in like 25 cents or whatever it was to use it. And then I remember one time a guy just opened the door and I was like waiting for it because, you know, I need to use the bathroom, and he comes out, he's got a syringe like still kind of hanging out of the door.
Oh, good
Kid just shot up.
Oh, Lord.
And I was just like, oh man, you can't solve this problem.
No, I know. It's so
really
much bigger.
Brutal. It's sadly a drug and lack of mental
thank you, sir.
support.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Kindly.
Last drink of the
Cheers.
day.
Welcome back. Did you say last drink of the day? It's Valentine's Day. You guys got to go party.
I do want to party, but
That was a hard turn from how do you solve homeless drug addiction problems to, hey, you got to party. It's Valentine's Day. Oh yeah.
Well, why are we talking about this?
You started it.
You started it. It's your story. Okay, let's get into swastikas. Next story of the day. Swastikas,
God.
Kanye's favorite symbol.
Fucking Kanye.
So Ye started selling swastika t-shirts.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you know,
Like, did he think he was gonna sell a lot of the swastika shirts, or is it just that he's so? Because like that clip has been going around of him on Joe Rogan that was like, "How much does the Earth cost?" And Joe Rogan's like, what? And he was like, because I want to have enough money I can buy the earth and be its king. And you're just like, I hope he knows how dumb that sounds.
You know what? It's not a dumb
right?
thing.
Like, did
I think
he
it's
just
an
go
off the meds thing?
Oh yeah,
I think that's what it is.
yeah.
Because we see these cycles, and this is very, sadly, it is, and obviously I'm not trying to diagnose Kanye here, but like when you see someone go through these ups and downs and these radical swings,
Yeah.
it oftentimes is a disconnect with medication that one needs to maintain a certain level of sanity, because the stuff that's coming out these days is just crazy.
I know.
I have
and
a
like
friend.
this lady that like showed up and he like
Well,
his wife who
let's
like
not-
went to the Grammys and
let's not shame everything.
I mean maybe some of them were good ideas. Kevin enjoyed that one.
No, I will say that like it felt very icky because
yeah.
but like let me like how do I put this?
What do I mean by icky?
No.
Like icky.
Don't do the smackies. The smackies. The audio listeners are like,
clarify,
oh.
what is icky?
So what I'm talking about is like if both parties, meaning like whoever it may like
both parties.
Meaning both sides of the partnership.
Yes.
Are both kind of in on the idea and like, hey, let's shock the world into this crazy thing.
Yeah.
But he the way that he stood and like looked at her as like an object.
Yeah. No,
felt
it definitely
really
feel like that
just
was
like,
it felt like she was like, what should I wear to the Grammys?
And he's like,
hey Kanye,
you need to
what
do
if I
this.
just go naked?
No,
And he's
I
like,
don't.
yeah.
No,
That definitely
I
did
don't
not
think
happen.
that was it.
No, of course not.
It was like, you need to do this type of situation.
Yeah.
It felt that way to me.
They just broke up.
They just broke up? Oh, shit.
Breaking news coming in right now, hot off the wire. Mao has told us that they broke up.
I mean, fair enough. Good for her.
Dude, finally. She's like, that was it. The last straw. Naked on the red
Well,
carpet.
I mean, good on her for, I mean, she was not, she was your type of woman. You love them titties.
First off, everybody loves them titties.
No.
Let's just be clear. Nobody is like going, nah, I don't really love. You don't love titties?
I don't.
How is that possible?
I mean, I don't hate them.
Sure, but you don't love them?
You know me.
I know.
We've known each other long
We've
enough.
had
You
this
know what I
conversation
like.
so many. We could literally go to a bar and I could just go, that's for Kevin, and you'd be like, that's for Alex, and we're like,
Well, don't
thankfully
say that. Now you're being Kanye.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that
Just
except
Kanye, like,
personally.
people.
No, but it was just we all have our things.
Yeah. Our
Ladies could
attributes.
come in and look at us and go like, that one's for me, this one's for me, and I perfectly appreciate that.
That's right. That's right. Tread lightly. No, I feel that like I like.
First up, I thought you had already gone back to the story, but then you were just like so in your head, like, no, but I like, and I was like, oh, we had moved on, Kevin.
No, the problem is like when you don't have any drinks for like a whole month, and then you have 3 or 2.5 or whatever, 2.25. It's like it goes straight to your head, right?
The
And
best.
It's like,
First off, did you? I
hard.
made sure that I carb loaded before I came.
I didn't load anything.
Because I knew I was gonna have. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Mal. Appreciate
But
that.
I only had one now.
Appreciate that. Look at that.
The glasses.
Man, you've been nursing that.
We're nursing that. So I will say that I'm really. I have had a chance to meet the CEO of Shopify.
Oh yeah.
He's
Right, because the story is that
Shopify
dropped him as soon as he posted that.
Yeah, so this Tobias, the CEO, is a very nice guy.
That's got to be so
super
weird.
good
'cause
dude.
People can basically post whatever they or sell whatever they want.
What they want.
And then they got to be able to like cull through that stuff quick. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And Shopify dropped him.
Yeah.
Well,
good for them.
rightfully so. It's like, I don't know. It's like, first of all, you weren't selling any shirts. What did you sell? Like
Yeah.
100? Probably a few thousand.
But why? Like, that whole, there's a whole subset of stuff that's happening where I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, who gives a shit what religion somebody else, like, who gives a
swastika
shit?
is not a religion.
No, but it's an anti-religion, right? Like, for the most part, it means screw, like, I'm
Well,
anti.
many people don't know this. If you flip the swastika backwards,
It's an Hindi thing, right? Like
it's
an
a
Indian,
Buddhist thing. Yeah.
Oh, a Buddhist thing, yeah.
Yeah, I believe the backwards
I don't
swastika
think
is.
that's the one he was selling.
Yeah, no. He was like,
I don't think he had just turned Buddhist and was like, I'm just going to use this one.
no. Yeah, it's.
But
it's
yeah, but
a
it's
Buddhist
like,
thing.
God, for me, I just feel like if you give a shit what anybody else is doing, you're not enjoying your life enough. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's coming into my backyard, unless it's somebody beating down my house, I could give two shits.
You know what's crazy about the swastika is that, like...
Okay, careful.
No.
You know what's crazy about the swastika?
No.
Have you guys ever thought?
There's a few very... now... God, I want to say this in a way that doesn't get clipped out in the wrong way.
I get you.
Because I'm not trying to say anything here other than like, there are certain logos.
I mean, it's interesting that like an iconography, because it's a simple iconography.
Like I'll give you an example. The Black Flag logo, the punk rock band Black Flag. Do you know the logo? Have you ever seen it?
Yes, but I can't pull it into my brain right now.
It's basically just these four shapes that go up. Kind of like, it's super iconic because of its simplicity.
Yeah.
And it's like, you realize it didn't take, like the designer is well known, but it was like, it's almost, there's a lot of people that talk about this idea that it's the removal of things from design that is difficult. It's very easy to be additive.
Oh yeah.
It's how can you strip it down to its bare essentials to make something simple, recognizable, memorable, and iconic all at the same time. The swastika is one of those symbols
100%.
where when you look at it from a design aesthetic, like forget the history it has, it's just so basic, but yet so powerful in what it is and in the terms of the way that it looks.
Yeah.
And if you flip it and look at its traditional use in Buddhism, like it's a very, like, you know, it represents Buddha's footprints in art, in Buddhist art. And so it's a very positive symbol, just flip, but no one's gonna know that.
Yeah. Well, it now will forever, I mean, you can literally like draw a guy walking wrong and just go, shit, it looks like a swastika.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is crazy, and it is a very potent use of design from, you know, the 1930s and 40s. But it's crazy to me that like, it's just crazy to me that we're even still talking about fucking Kanye West. You know what I mean? Like, how is that guy still even a thing? I mean, I know he's a fucking
People have turned wrecks. I
mean, goddamn it!
Until he dies,
reality TV didn't tell us anything.
Want to see the mess?
I know. It's why you get rubberneckers.
I thought you were wearing Yeezys today when you.
I know, yeah. Thankfully, they're not. They're much more scientific. These are APLs. Ooh. They're from a group of JPL scientists that are all runners, and they left JPL to start.
Are you messing with me?
No. They left JPL to start.
Why are you petting them like that?
Because they're fucking ribbed for my pleasure. Look at that. Wow. Snake eyes. Actually, they do look like ninja boots, or like like those Japanese without the toe thing. But yeah, no, they're APLs. It's a couple JPL scientists that left to make the most comfortable ninja boots running shoes ever, and I have like 3 pairs. I love them.
I love it. I would wear a pair of shoes like that. Those are cool. Better than my Saki. Weird things.
First off,
that I can't unsee.
Well, first off, the sack is pointed towards you.
Well, when Addison pointed that out, I was like, God damn it. Because it's more of a... Yeah, you're right. It is more of a...
It's more of a camel toe.
It
literally is a camel toe. I think it's designed from what a camel toe is designed to do, which is spread the weight evenly and beautifully.
But I mean, it's a good-looking dad shoe, though, generally speaking.
I mean, it looks like a. I mean, I wouldn't know that was a dad shoe. I would just say, oh, you're wearing like running shoes.
No, dad shoes are supposed to be the ugly shoes. So
I don't think they're that ugly.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Did you buy them specifically to be ugly?
Yes, I did.
That's great. I think we did it.
All right, is that it?
I think so.
All right.
Do we have any?
Oh, we got to take another one.
All right, if you want to do that one, you can do that one, because I don't want to do this one.
Okay. GLP-1s.
Did you read the thing?
I did read the thing.
Okay, good.
Are causing blindness.
No, that's not what this is. Read the headline. Read the headline.
Okay, it says someone, anonymous cow. So there was someone highlighting.
It says that GLP-1's
linked to blindness.
Not causing blindness.
Okay, so there was a study that came out that said that GLP-1s, which are obviously the very popular drugs these days for reducing weight, like Ozempic and Repatha, and
by the way, did you see
Wegovy and all the other ones that are out there.
Jim Gaffigan? Do you know who Jim Gaffigan is, the stand-up comic? If you saw him, you'd be like, oh, that guy.
yeah.
And he's notoriously a tall, pudgy, sort of pasty white guy.
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah,
he lost a bunch of weight on one of these GLP-1 things, and he just did a stand-up show called Jim Gaffigan the Skinny. And he was dressed in a tuxedo, and he starts talking about them. He was like, these things are miracle drugs. And he was like, and everybody would say like, he was like, they would always be like, oh, well, you're cheating. And he goes, I do not play Major League Baseball.
Right.
He's like, I am a fat, middle-aged man who's pre-diabetic.
Right.
I want to cheat.
Yeah.
Like anything I could use to help me. He was like, I'm on a cholesterol pill. I'm on a blood pressure pill.
Yeah.
I'm on a heart pill. And he was like, why is this all of a sudden cheating?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's cheating at all. I think it's just modern medicine. The one thing that I think, I think I mentioned this on the show. If not, let's tell the story now. I've definitely said it on a podcast before. But so Peter Attia has been my physician for many years.
You talked about this on Diggnation, that he had access to it before it became a thing.
Yes. So semaglutide was just a known biohack peptide that you could buy, and before it was known as the weight loss drug. It's fantastic for glucose control, and I've always had an issue with glucose disposal, meaning that if I spike up high, I stay higher than most people should, and you don't want that because you want to have muscles that are sensitized enough to do the uptake of the glucose, and get rid of it so that you're back to baseline, and it reduces inflammation. Lots of all bad things happen when you have high glucose. So I tried Ozempic before it was Ozempic. And in a much lower dose than the big doses they have
for
today.
weight loss,
But it also, I was getting DEXA scans done at the same time, which are these low radiation scans that you can do that do bone density. They're really important to get done for bone density as you age, and also visceral fat.
I feel like I need to go just have you take me to like a spa, a medical spa, and just be like, let's just test everything.
Oh, for
sure. It's not going to be great.
Yeah, we'll take you.
I mean, it might be all right.
Well, I'll get you the propanol first, and we'll
Let me just slow punch you to the butt.
Turn side.
Turn on my side. I'll be like, Kevin, I don't think this is the kind of scan we were talking about. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It feels good. It feels good.
So basically, the one thing
because visceral fat is the stuff that's around your organs.
And it's the really bad stuff.
Yeah.
So that's linked to all kinds of stuff.
That's like when you see those like guys that are like
skinny, but
German guys that have like thick calves. Thick because they hike all the time, but they have this big old gut.
Right, exactly.
That's very dangerous
the bears,
fat.
Yeah. So basically, we noticed a reduction in my visceral fat, and then also I was wearing a Dexcom at the time, which was a continuous glucose monitor.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And my Dexcom numbers were just like so much better.
Wow.
And they look at. They don't only just look at peaks and how high they get, but also they can track the disposal, and they have the whole data set. They have the access to the raw data. You authorize your doctor in, and they run all these models against it. The high-end doctors do all this crazy shit. So long story short, I'm a big fan. I think that in where Tia is leading to, and he is, I obviously, he is the master here, not me. But when he talks about them in podcasts more recently, it's less about the big macro dose of these GLP-1s, and it's more about microdosing it over time. So there was like these two trains of thought. One was, call it like 2 years ago, which is GLP-1, your way up to a max dose, drop all the weight, titrate off, and then just kind of like try and keep it off.
Yeah.
And now what they're kind of realizing, and this is linked back to the story, because what they believe is happening is because you're getting your glucose under control so quickly, and it's dropping your glucose, it's kind of narrowing some of the blood vessels because there's less pressure and a bunch of other things. And so it's causing temporary degradation in eyesight due to the rapid reduction in glucose coming down.
Interesting.
So it's like you're doing it too fast.
So like you're lowering your like your blood pressure is lowering. That's good. It's lowering so fast that your eyes can't get the blood that they're used to. That's bad.
It's not necessarily blood pressure, but it is related to blood flow. Yes.
Interesting.
So that's the kind of like leading theory here going on right now. So what Atia has talked about, and this is obviously going to be dated the second it comes out. So obviously listen to his podcast and not medical advice here and not on his show. But like when he talks about these days, it's more like, can we get to this really micro dose, get you the glucose control, get you the slow weight loss that a lot of people want to see from this. So you're not dropping 10 pounds a month, but maybe 2 or 1.5.
Yeah.
And it's a 24-month journey, not a 6-month journey.
Yeah.
And that's going to be way healthier for your long-term, because we do know.
I mean, that's just makes sense no matter what. Like dropping weight fast is worse than even
100%.
Even before these drugs were available.
Exactly. But a couple things that are we do know for certain is that it reduces your rate of heart attack.
That's great.
There's less strain on your heart and body as you have reduced. They don't know if it's
just the fat or
it's
something else
or
is
exactly.
Yeah.
But the glucose control is a huge thing, and if you're borderline like diabetic, like that's massive for you.
That's what Jim Gaffigan was saying.
It's kind of like
not pre-diabetic anymore.
Let's watch the science where it goes, but let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here, because there's a new series of GLP-1s, like I don't know what, maybe they'll call them GLP-2s or whatever the hell they call them, but they're coming out soon. They're going to be really interesting.
Oh, really?
Way less side effect profiles, and I'm probably going to have early access to one that is a sublingual, which means
under your
tongue.
Tongue.
No, in your butt. No,
not. That would be amazing.
Just turn over. On your side.
Like, good news is it's not a shot anymore. Bad news is it's an anal suppository.
I probably would do that over a shot.
I think I might do it over a shot too. I don't know why.
So anyway, it's under the tongue, and then you don't get the digestive discomfort from the orals, because they do have oral semaglutide right now, but it causes a mess of the GI tract even more so than the shots. But it's a very interesting kind of frontier of science that's happening right now with these drugs.
Dude, we live in a weird time. I mean, going back to Japan.
Super weird time.
Like, that's the other thing is like the obesity numbers in Japan is like fucking 4% or some shit. It's crazy. And I was just talking to Heather about this, because I was like, there was also the ones, you know what it was? We started watching, and you guys should watch it. You would love it. It's not getting a season 2. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But it's called Sunny on Apple TV.
Okay.
It's awesome. It's got Rashida Jones.
I'm going to put that in my notes here.
Yeah, dude, put it in your notes. Sunny on Apple TV.
On Apple TV.
Yeah, just watch the first episode.
Via Pound Alex Albrecht. I'm using Bear. I love Bear.
I don't know what Bear is, but I love that you love My Name is in there. But anyway, it's crazy because like there's a scene in one of the episodes where there's employees, and there's like over the PA system, and it's very heightened. I'm sure this is not like every company, but it comes from a place of truth, where over the loudspeaker it was like, okay, it's time for exercise, and everybody would stand up from their desks and do just like these like calisthenics.
Yeah.
And I was like, that shit happens. Like there are videos of like, especially in like China, there are videos of like everybody getting to the work in China, and they all stand in the parking lot, and they all do the fucking calisthenics, and it's like, why don't we do that shit in America?
You want to hear something crazy? I went to Japan, and I met with the CEO of this company, who also is a Zen instructor, and he took me into, he runs a really high-end kind of furniture company in Japan.
Okay.
And, multi-level, like massive company, like hundreds of millions in revenue. And he was kind of giving me the tour and showing me all the sustainable furniture and all the beautiful stuff, and it was awesome. And he's like, oh, this is our meditation room. And I expected, like, you open the door and there's like
a yoga mat,
yeah, exactly,
and, fucking scented candles from
30 seats going around.
What?
And it's like anyone can go in there and sit anytime they want and meditate, and it's like part of their culture.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh my God, why are we?
We're so bad.
When I went to Japan this last time,
Yeah.
I was just like walking around. You remember how clean the streets were?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, they're still that way.
Yeah.
And I'm just like looking at the streets, and like there's not a fucking gum wrapper anywhere because people care.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why? I love America so much. I'm just like, why can't we do better?
I know. I watched this micro doc on their prison system.
Ooh, microdocs.
Dude, if you ever wanted to feel like, I don't know, it's weird because it's just like, I don't know if we could ever get there. But like literally their prison system, it's like there's no doors, There's no locks.
Yeah.
They don't have, it's just like, because everybody's, basically they're like, that was the thing. Because, hold on, our stadium lighting went down for a second.
It's okay, we still got lights.
I think it's good. Somebody, there it is. Now, okay, somebody had to wake up. But one of the things is, if you get caught doing something, or if there's something like nefarious and all that, your punishment is to stand in your room. To stand in a little square in your room. But they can have you stand there for like 10 hours.
That's good.
But like, if you think about that, like, I don't want to stand on a single space for like 20 minutes. My back would start fucking hurting.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I want to sit down. No, you're standing there. That's your punishment. And I was like, fuck it. Like, there's solitary confinement.
It's better than solitary confinement.
This is what I'm saying. I was like, fuck, if you're going to get arrested, go to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, also, there's this whole story that came out, like, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, where there's this like loneliness epidemic going on, where old Japanese women were committing crimes just so they could get thrown into jail.
That happens in Sunny.
But what's funny is,
literally happens
honestly,
in Sunny.
when I was thinking about Japanese jails, and I was like, because I've had some Japanese breakfast when I'm staying in a hotel and I order that Japanese breakfast where you get like little fish and the rice and the miso soup. And I'm like, fucking jail, that sounds kind of dope. You know what I mean? Like, just like,
You'd lose weight. They'd be like calisthenics, just eat well.
But imagine you like get in there and they give you a little kimono and shit, and you're just like fucking having your little rice bowl in the morning.
I mean,
I kind of want to go to jail there.
I'm just saying.
It sounds kind of dope.
This is like a 10-year-old idea that you have. Like, dude, wouldn't it be dope to go to jail?
All the time.
No, it wouldn't.
Amazing.
I remember this from years
I had
ago.
a
You
friend
talked
that
about
brought a
jail.
bunch of mushrooms to Japan, and
Truffles?
truffles, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?"
dude.
It was not with me. It was a separate trip that he did. Not that it would matter if it was with me or not, but it was like,
They were my mushrooms. I wasn't involved in the mushrooms.
no, but like, it's like if you get caught with that, like, you maybe jail time or not, like TBD.
Yeah.
But the thing that's the worst part is like you would be banned from Japan for almost forever. Like,
oh boy,
and that would suck
suck.
if you're a big fan. Which
Well, that's the thing, is maybe you wouldn't. That would be the worst thing. You literally go to Japan to get arrested, to be in a Japanese
then you
jail,
get banned
and they just
instead.
deport you back here to go to jail.
well, you wouldn't go to jail because it was out of their jurisdiction. But yeah,
Well, maybe they have some friends.
yeah.
Oh, guys, it's been so fun.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
This is our last episode prior to doing the live show.
That blows
at
my
South by
mind.
Southwest.
I cannot. I don't even know what it's going to be like to do.
I know
a
what
live
it's gonna
show.
be like.
It's going to be good.
Well, I will tell you that there's going to be some crazy announcements that are going to be worth. If you're sitting there teetering,
You're one of 4 people.
and you're one of 4 people that have not bought a ticket yet, but you're teetering, and you're like,
Teetering on the couch.
should I go? Should I not go?
Yeah. You should go.
Can I spill some beans?
No,
now?
you can't.
I can spill some stuff.
No. Look
Well,
at him.
you
Look,
can
Mouse.
believe some. Just don't put weird things.
He's going to put weird things.
Don't put like chicken liver.
He's
or
gonna
some
put weird
shit in
things.
my mouth. Okay. Tim Ferriss is going to do this show
Okay,
ahead
that's
of
not
time,
weird.
which is
Tim
going to be
Ferriss-
great.
Yeah.
Jason Calacanis confirmed to come out early and introduce us.
Oh, yeah,
We
that's
all know
gonna be
him
fun.
from the All In show.
Yeah.
He's going to be wandering the crowd in the VIP area, causing a
gonna be great.
ruckus. It'll
It's
be
gonna be
fun.
great. Yeah.
Chris Saka's going to join us on stage, which I already
it.
tweeted about.
Yep, love that.
Love Saka. If people know him from.
I have heard that there is going to be Diggnation swag.
Yes.
Which is crazy because there hasn't been Diggnation swag in
Yes.
a very long time.
Some amazing posters. You should.
Oh my God, the posters.
Yeah, posters are great. Mixmaster Mike's going to be there DJing.
Smash Mics, yeah.
There is one guest that shall go unnamed, and I won't name them, but don't you just love chicken liver? But that's just, I just love creating extra work from Mao. But honestly, we're going to have one guest that when we get up on stage, and the announcement will come a couple days prior to the show.
Yeah.
But you all will see that this is going to be a very special moment for a lot of us.
I'm excited.
So I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say something else.
I know
but
you
I'm
were.
not gonna
I know
say
you
it.
were. It's all good. But I will say this. We will see you in Austin.
Super excited.
Konnichiwa.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Hiya.